Hello and welcome to the United Stands. Something a little bit different on this show. I'm joined by Alex. It's what we're going to call the United Stand face-off. For me, 100% we need to buy a right midfielder. We're linked heavily with Mkhitaryan. Hopefully that is right. And Riyad Mahrez is somebody that I just think that deal could happen for Manchester United as well. So basically, what we're going to do is throw it over to you. If you're not watching live, there will be a poll in the top right-hand corner. But we're going to list out the reasons behind the two. You can make your own mind up. Alex obviously knows a little bit more, I think, about Mkhitaryan than I do. And we'll get your live comments from everybody else. I mean, Connor, straight away, I'd take Mkhitaryan straight away. And Connor also says he feels sorry for Dortmund. Just to get everybody up to speed then, Mkhitaryan is a player that at Dortmund, obviously, who's a lot of people have been mentioning him for a while, but I don't think they thought the deal could be done. Arsenal was sort of linked to him. However, it's come out from his agent, Raiola, who is, funnily enough, Zlatan's agent, Pogba's agent, Lukaku's agent, saying that it would be a dream move to Manchester United, and that would be the preferred place he would go. Dortmund have come out and said, he's basically not signing a new contract. He's got 1 year left on his contract, but Dortmund have come out and said that he will be completing that last year. So it may not happen. However, what do I know about him before I go to Alex? 27 years of age. Some people say he's like Mata. I don't think he is at all. He can actually play on the right midfield. He is quick. He's got a great shot on him and he's very skillful, but he can also play centre attacking midfield as well. Like I said, 27. I think, to be honest, we need a right midfielder and he fits the bill absolutely perfect for me. What are your thoughts on him, Alex?
Yeah, I think he would make a brilliant signing. Obviously, he's rapid, like you said. He got like 20-something goals, 20-something assists this season. The big stumbling block, as you've already said, is that Dortmund have said that he's not for sale and that they're not going to let him go. And normally with clubs, you'd be like, oh, well, money talks, and you give them a certain amount of money, and then they will let him come. But we've seen in the past with Lewandowski at Dortmund going to Bayern, they just let him go on a free. Hummel's going to once again Bayern, they let him go on a free. So I don't know whether it's just because it was Bayern or whether they just don't really care about the money and like that they would like do that, because at the end of the day, he's 1 year on his contract, and it just depends how much we are willing to give. Because if we let him go like this season, then he goes on a free, then we will have a lot more competition, I think. But yeah, he would be an absolutely brilliant signing because it will fit the right wing problem that we have. Because Mata isn't good, well, especially under Mourinho, but under any manager, Mata isn't just suited to play in the right wing in the Premier League.
No, I'd agree with you. And I think, people could say, oh, Carrick fans joined us. He's just said, Alex, can you jinx England, please? Obviously, he'll be supporting the Welsh tomorrow or today or whenever you're watching this video. But we could wait a year. We'll get a lot of competition. However, I think we need a right midfielder this season. We can't wait. We're not in that luxury anymore because of the last bad 3 years of signings and not being in the Champions League. Mourinho's not going to wait and rely on the likes of Lingard and Mata on the right wing. We need a right winger. I think we've got to go all out to get him if we can get him. You've got to balance it up. Like a lot of fans will have figured this out, that this could just be the normal agent trying to get a better deal somewhere else using Manchester United. We do get used a lot, so you've got to bear that in mind. But also, he doesn't have a buyout clause. Some people were mentioning that today. Dortmund sort of got their fingers burnt with buyout clauses. They even removed it from Marco Rusa's contract. So there is no buyout clause. What it comes down to is sort of your old school thing that you get in England a lot, whereby he's got a year left on his contract. They could probably take 20 to 30 million pounds for him now, or they keep him, they dig their feet in, and he goes for nothing next summer. Realistically, in the modern day, the player should be able to force that move, whether people like that or not. Rojo did it when he came here. It happens a lot. He can force that move if he wants it to happen. Whether he'll come to United or Arsenal, I don't know. But I mean, Lewis was saying that he's quite small, he's quite slow. He's saying again he's not very quick. Mkhitaryan would be perfect on the right wing, says Tactics Network. He can't be any slower than Mata, and also he can play on the right midfield. He's got a blistering shot on him, like I say, and he's a very creative player. It'd be a massive improvement on any of the right midfielders that we have at the club at the moment, whether you're talking Valencia, Young, Lingard, or Mata, like I say. Riyad Mahrez, we'll bring him in, and I hope you're all taking your notes, and a lot of you are saying Mkhitaryan anyway, but Riyad Mahrez, slightly different player, obviously. He's not the same player. 25 years of age, same as Mkhitaryan's, 2 years older, just. and Lemar Brown saying exactly the sort of signing we've been looking for. We need a right midfield, which is why we're doing this sort of face-off, really. Mahrez is good, but he has to prove another season, says Julius Caesar, and that is exactly where I'm coming from on this. I mean, we've seen in the Premier League, he's skillful. He's playing in a Leicester side where you've got to work hard. So he would fit into the Mourinho way, because you could put him on the right midfield. He'll do it in the attacking sense, but he will work hard back as well. So he ticks a lot of the boxes. He's creative. You know, he's not too old. He's not too young. He's not too old. He's going into his prime years. Scores a lot of good goals. Had a fantastic season for Leicester. Everything says that, yes, this can be done, and he does have a buyout clause like Vardy. I think it's somewhere between 20 and 30 million pounds, which is, you know, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, Alex, I'll get your thoughts on Mahrez. I don't even know what yours are. I've said it about Mahrez a few times. He just doesn't do it for me. There's a big doubt, question mark in my mind. I just feel that he might be a one-season wonder.
Yeah, just quickly to touch upon the Mkhitaryan thing again. I don't know who the hell said he was slow, but if they think he's slow, then they clearly have never seen him play, because he is not slow whatsoever. In terms of Mahrez, he was absolutely brilliant this season. Like, some of the goals he pulled off, like with his dribbling, and he's been so good. As you say, he could be a one-season wonder. I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's like 24, 25, something around that.
Yeah, so, just turned 25.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, so he isn't old. I would absolutely love Mahrez. I was saying, like, during the season that I'd love him. If we were in the Champions League, we could actually get him with the buyout clause and just get him instantly without having to even negotiate with Leicester. I don't know how much they'd want with an actual bid. I still see them, even though that they're going to want to keep hold of all their best players. I still do see some of them leaving. Vardy, obviously the most notable one. I think Kante is a player who I would take over any Leicester player. But Mahrez, obviously player of the season, he was brilliant. And I think he will be good next season, but I don't know whether he'll be as good.
Yeah, he's a cheaper option, I suppose. That's what Dimitrio's saying. And he is quality, says Anthony. Not Mahrez, says Anthony Martial. I would like Willian, even if it would take 40 million, says Julius Caesar. I mean, that would be my choice, because Willian is perfect. He's experienced. I think he's 27 or 28. Hard working, but he's got great delivery. Premier League proven. Very skillful, very hard working. He'd be perfect. I just don't know whether we could prize him from Chelsea. I've said it before, he'd be the one player I would take from Chelsea over anybody that they've got. I'd like him. But in the Mahrez Mkhitaryan role, I would go Mkhitaryan. I think a lot of the people on the live comments would. So if you're not watching live, do get commenting below. I haven't asked you, Alex, which way would you go?
Sorry, what was that?
If you were choosing between the two, which one would you go for?
I've seen a lot more of Mahrez, so I would lean more on that side. But if you're looking statistically, then Mkhitaryan is better. But both of them would improve us infinitely. We just need a good right winger. I've
just blocked that idiot who said go to Red Men TV. I mean, that's a Liverpool fan channel, so you're blocked. Yeah, well, we need a right midfielder. That's what we do need, and I can see Williams, not Ashley Williams, a Willian from Chelsea we're talking about. We do not want Ashley Williams. He's crap. But yeah, Mkhitaryan would be the one for me. Some people are saying he's agreed to stay. Let's see what happens with it. I think it's the sort of player that I know about and a lot of people know about, but it's only over the last couple of days, probably last night, where his agent made those comments where we really thought it could happen. And if we can get that sort of player, certainly. Cam Neville's talking about centre-backs. We'll definitely get another centre-back, 100%. You know, Bay and Smalling, and then we need one other. I think some people are getting a bit anxious about signings. The Euros are on. I don't really expect us to be signing anybody. I think I was happy that we got Bailey before.
I just cut in and ask you one thing that someone actually mentioned to me the other day, and I don't know whether it'll be true, but he's like, I think that we've signed Bailey to play as right back, because if you think when Mourinho came in, he bought Ivanovic, who was naturally centre back originally, he likes a big right back, because then he has one that like pushes forward like Ashley Cole, and then how we have Luke Shaw down the left flank, and then one that basically works as a third centre back, like with Bay, and he can actually play right back as well. But it just seems so weird if we'd have signed him to play right back.
Yeah, I think we need 3 centre backs, and I think he will sort of fight it out with Smalling and hopefully one other, because we will pick up injuries. That's one certainty. Manchester United always pick up injuries around October. So yeah, I expect us to probably. I'm hoping Manolas, although Roma are apparently trying to get him onto a new contract, which is a shame. And John Stones is still up for grabs. Lewis is saying, "What do you think with Darmian?" I want him to stay. I think he falls into the category of Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger, who I want them all to stay. And I think under Mourinho, he can get the best out of them. But let's just see. MSTR says the sound is weird. If it is weird, let us know. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, Mkhitaryan, hopefully that can happen. What else is in the news? Griezmann has been dropped for France tonight. They are playing Albania, I think, and Pogba as well. I'm ecstatic. I don't know why people are bothered. Martial's our player, so I want him to play. Griezmann's a player I want to sign for Manchester United, so I want him to have an awful Euros because I already know he's a good player. I don't want him to go and light the Euros up so Real Madrid sign him or Barcelona. I want him to have an absolute rubbish Euros, and then we can sign him cheap. And yeah, I'll throw that to you as well, Alex, and while I read the comments. But also Zlatan, apparently he's been named in the Olympic squad. I don't think he'll go to the Olympics. I think when you listen to what the Swedish coach for the Olympics actually said, he said, you know, it's a bit of a shot in the dark. We hope it'll happen, but we're not confident. If he's signing for United, I can't see him going to the Olympics.
I don't know exactly when the Olympics like start or end, but I think it's like sometime in September or something that he would miss like
August, yeah.
Yeah, but then he'd end up missing like 6 games or something. So I'd be furious if it didn't happen. I think if there's one, I think if you're signing on a 1-year contract, then you can't be going to the Olympics. Like, no offense, I know it is like a big deal to some people, and it does come around every 4 years, so it would be his last chance to play in it. But if he's signing for us, he can't go to the Olympics. I saw the announcement that he was in the Olympic squad, but they said that it isn't concrete, and like you said, they're unsure about Zlatan whether he will go in. And in terms of if we are signing him, they're not really that reliable, but Sky Sports have said that the medical's already booked, so you can take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I'm reading through some of the comments here. Some people are saying that Griezmann signed the new contract. He hasn't. He virtually did, but then his agent said a couple of weeks ago that it's not true. He hasn't signed a contract yet, and he's definitely assessing his options. I'd love Griezmann to come. Saul, VK Dean is saying Saul and Griezmann just signed new contracts, they're not moving. That's not true. Griezmann hasn't signed the new contract. I don't know about Saul Niguez. But I'm excited to watch France tonight. Obviously, hopefully Martial can. That's the player I want to light up the French team, Anthony Martial, because we've already got him and he's not going to be going anywhere. A few people saying that Mata should be swapped. We could use Mata to get somebody from Juventus, Dortmund, Valencia for Gomez. But as somebody said a couple of weeks ago, swap deals don't really happen anymore, and it is a shame because I think Mata is a very good asset that we could bring somebody better in. In fact, Scorpion Gaming is just saying swapping for Mkhitaryan. I don't think Mata would go to Germany. I think he'd probably like to go back to Spain. But we've got to mention it, I suppose. England playing Wales tomorrow. It's at 2 o'clock, and obviously we don't do the watch-alongs for England because we're a Manchester United fan channel. But I will be watching the game, and I will be doing a match reaction at some point, probably at 7 o'clock. Because I know Northern Ireland are playing more or less straight after. I'm in a pub and it will take me time to adjust. But looking forward to it. I'm going to make some apologies now. I'm obviously English. I'm supporting England, and I apologise for any tweets tomorrow because I know there's a lot of Welsh followers of the United Stand who we love. But apart from 2 hours tomorrow,
I don't apologise for any tweets tomorrow.
You don't?
I don't apologise for any tweets tomorrow.
Well, obviously, Carrick fan is somebody who watches the channel and does fantastic videos, and I know he's passionately Welsh, as a lot of people will be. But no, it just doesn't work. We're all United fans, but I'm a massive England fan tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. Russia were poor today. That was my fear. We were all saying how great Rooney was in centre midfield, and he bossed that midfield. But I did say in the reaction video I did. Go back to it if you don't believe me. I did say the problem is we don't know how good Russia are. Like last time, we didn't know how good Italy were in the first game. We lost that game, but we played quite well. Then we found out Italy were actually crap. And I think today we found out Russia are absolutely crap. So it's starting again tomorrow. We should be beating Wales. I don't agree with Gareth Bale's winding up or Aaron Ramsey. The only player who get in the England team is Gareth Bale. So to say they wouldn't have any of ours is just winding us up. But a few comments in there. I've forgotten about this. Andre Gomez linked to Chelsea. Chelsea, whether they've got Mourinho or not, are always very good at transfers. If they've moved for Gomez, maybe we don't want Gomez. I'll throw that back to you, Alex, because if we do want him, he's got the same agent as Mourinho. He's got a buyout clause. if we want that deal to be done, it's very straightforward for us. If Chelsea nipped in and got that deal done, it can only mean that we're not interested, because they shouldn't be able to gazump us on this one when his agent is owned by Mourinho, essentially.
Yeah, you'd have to think that, like, but I know it's not really that much of a draw, but it's better than nothing, like with the Europa League for one. And then Conte, I don't care how good Chelsea fans think he is, he's nowhere near as renowned as Jose Mourinho. The only person really in the Premier League that comes onto Jose's level when you're talking about it is Pep Guardiola, and the only other person in world football aside from them two is Carlo Ancelotti. And then you have like the tears down with like the Jurgen Klopp and stuff. And I think a lot of players would rather play for Klopp even than Conte. So I feel like we can also offer more money, but if they're bidding for him and it's getting rejected for 32 million, I don't know. I haven't really watched that much of him, and I don't know how many people have really watched that much of him aside from like YouTube videos and stuff. But if they're rejecting a 32 million bid, then it's just the Premier League teams now are just going to get mugged off so much of all this TV money coming in and how everyone's so rich. And then Man United, you get an extra 10 million thrown on top of that. And we're just going to, like, is he really going to be worth? I saw his stats and he got like something like 5 goals. I didn't see his assists. So, and I know you can't base everything off stats, but for like some of the prices are just getting absolutely ridiculous now. And I would rather go for someone like Mkhitaryan, who would probably be cheaper as he's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, I'd agree. Some people are on about Bonucci at Italy there. Fantastic. Joey's mentioned him. I've mentioned him. I love Juventus. They're my favourite Italian side. I watch them quite a lot, and I really do like Bonucci. He sort of reminds me of Cannavaro, but very similar to Cannavaro. He's just not going to leave Italy. He's not going to leave Italy unless it's towards the end of his career. So that's not going to happen. We'd love Bonucci, but it would never happen. Gomez, I like him. Again, he was dividing opinion last night when he played. I thought he did quite well. But he's probably, I'm sure I've read that his buyout clause is over 32 million, which is why I dismissed the Sky report, because when I've researched it before, I'm sure it is. But if he goes to Chelsea, it means we're not in for him. That's what it means. And you've got to trust in Mourinho. We haven't got Van Gaal anymore. I'm not going to get stressed about transfers or Woodward this summer because we've got Mourinho. And let's just see where we are at the end. And Bolo, I watched him play tonight again for Switzerland. I've said he's going to sign for Manchester United. I still think it will happen. Very, very raw player, very raw. If you saw him, his touch was a bit all over the place. However, he's just turned 19. When he gets the ball or he's near the ball, things happen, and he's only going to get better. So I like the look at him. And Zlatan, I thought he played brilliant. You know, Iceland last night, they put Ronaldo in his pocket, and nobody says anything really about it. Ireland, a better team than Iceland, put 4 players on Zlatan. He still created a goal and got him back in it, and everyone says they don't want him. I think people are misunderstanding what Zlatan is meant to do for this Manchester United side. He's not meant to run in behind, run past 4 or 5 players, be fast or anything like that. It's all about power, control, getting in the box, bringing other people into play. For that, it'd be absolutely perfect. But I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Anything you want to say, Alex?
No, just I hope I'll be in a good mood tomorrow after Marcus Rashford comes on against the Welsh and scores the winner.
Biggest problem with England tomorrow is Roy Hodgson. He's worse than Leo Van Gaal. And, you know, I saw Russia today, and the big way of beating them was to get some pace on the pitch. And he didn't put any pace on the pitch at all, did he? You know, Sterling looked like he was running backwards.
One thing I did just want to quickly actually say, I remembered again, to the Chelsea fans that are getting, like, after Italy, like, spanked Belgium, getting really carried away, saying how Conte is, like, the saviour and everything, and how he's so much better than Mourinho. You have to remember Louis van Gaal put 5 past the world champions in his first game, and look how that turned out. International football and domestic football are completely different.
I'm loving the Euros. I hope everybody else is. It's a great opportunity to look at some targets for Manchester United and your own players. But I was saying to somebody today, international football's crap. You know, Kieran Clark couldn't even get in an Aston Villa side that was relegated, and he's playing centre-back against Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Granted, he scored no goal. International football is nowhere near club level at all. It's great to watch, but yeah, you can't gauge it. And that Louis van Gaal thing is the prime example. But thanks everybody for watching. It's difficult with the Euros on because you've got your 8 o'clock kickoffs, which basically covers 8 till 10, 4 o'clock kickoff. So we're wanting to do these transfer shows, and there's a lot of you watching. Please drop us a like. Please keep commenting. We really enjoy doing them. We'd probably like them to do them for about 10 minutes longer, but with the Euros on, I know everyone wants to watch the Euros. So for the next couple of weeks, just bear with us. As soon as the Euros are over, we'll fix proper dates again, probably Tuesday, Thursday, and probably do it at around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And obviously the Sunday show will be back. So it's a bit haphazard at the moment. I do apologise for that. we all want to be doing stuff, and we are reacting as stuff comes in. But the Euros are sort of, well, they're enjoyable, aren't they? They only come around every couple or 4 years, and World Cup and everything. So we should embrace that. And also, it's a lot of scouting, watching players. So yeah, I apologise for that, but we will be doing lots more. So please keep liking the videos, keep commenting. If you're not watching live, give us your vote on Mkhitaryan or Mahrez. I'm Mkhitaryan. I think Mahrez might be a flash in the pan. And I'll do a video tomorrow night. I don't know what state I'll be in. I am drinking for the game, and that'll probably be about 7 o'clock tomorrow. We'll call it United Watch, but I won't be able to stop ranting if we lose to the Welsh. See you all later. Thanks for watching. It is the United Stand, and just keep getting involved. Thank you.